What's going on, Reeves? Well, thanks for gifting the sub. How are you doing tonight? Not too shabby. I was able to finally get some shit done around the house today. So that's good. That makes me feel better. I hate it when I feel horrible and I don't get a lot of shit done. Makes me feel worse. I can't stand it when if I accomplish nothing all day. I just feel worthless. So at least today I got to get some stuff done. Well, why? What happened?
Request startup.
Oh god, it broke that easy? That sucks. Well, I mean, it just depends on how it lands, too. Even a heavy-duty one can break from smacking the ground.
Field 1-1. Request takeoff.
Well, that's that. Yeah, like I wouldn't want my HOTES to hit the ground either, and it's really sturdy, but I'd still be afraid of it getting hurt if I dropped it, you know? Alright, let's let this thing warm up. That's what I get for not flying the Warbirds for like a week after learning them in 4 days. I'm beyond rusty. I'm gonna mess this all up. Well, hopefully you can get it replaced quick enough. Are they gonna like actually replace it under warranty because you just got it? Or did you get it used from another person? Where am I? Alright, I need to pull out to the road and hang a right. Alright. Well, that's good. Really? A two-year warranty on an X56? That's actually really good. I wouldn't expect they'd hold a warranty that long on it. The X56 is the like space AG beginner hotess, right? Stick. It's like plastic. 2 years on that's actually a really good warranty because I imagine those things are only made to last a couple of years. Yeah. 2 years on that thing's pretty damn good deal, because I mean, if you take really good care of it, it'll last for many years, I'm sure, for the most part. But I mean, you know, it's the beginner hotess. It's cheaply made because it's cheaply made, so you don't spend a whole ton of money on it. I would have expected the warranty to have been like 6 months or something. Well, so at least you kind of saved yourself on that one. That sucks you can't fly for a little bit, but you know what I'd do with that time besides do other things? I would work on maps and my practice map a lot during that time. That would give me time to really think about what I want to add to my practice map and what kind of scenarios I want to build for myself to challenge myself and stuff. That'd be a good time for getting deep into the editing, learning how to use the tools and edit stuff. I mean, that's what happened to me. That's when I first started getting into editing, is because I wasn't able to fly for a little bit. After a patch, a while ago, back before I had a hotess, actually, they did a patch and my shitty vegetable computer wasn't able to log in for a bit until they fixed something with the patch, and that's when I started really getting into editing and stuff. And by the time I was able to fly again, I had a brand new practice map with all kinds of shit in it, including how to spawn stuff when I need it and all that kind of stuff. I learned all that stuff during that time period waiting for Eagle Dynamics to patch the client. This thing does not want to maneuver very well when it's taxiing. All these warbirds are like this. They're just a pain in the ass when they're on the ground. See if I can stop without blowing up. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just saying that's a good way to scratch that itch and also make good use of time, and then you'll appreciate it when you start flying again, when you've got more practice content for yourself. Why can I not hear? Is my sound really quiet? It sounds really quiet. Oh, it's up to 80. Oh, it's because it's got helmet. There we go. Now I can hear. How to shoot AIM-120s. With what plane? Yeah, they're way different. F-16's actually a lot easier. I can go through that for you here in a minute. Holy crap, I took off without dying. I consider that a bonus. There we go. And we are cruising. Oh, there she went. There's a field. There's no buildings. I don't see any buildings. That looks good. Oh, that's why. Those are big things. There we go. That's why I hate hot starts. Trim's all messed up. Everything's crazy. They didn't blow up. They just landed on somebody and squished them. Oh, you know why? I didn't arm them. Power again. At least we're a lot lighter now. Hey, I got like 5 kills with my bombs and they didn't even fuse, despite landing right on top of them. I'll take it. I can't believe I forgot to pull the arming levers. Alright, come on, fat girl. Let's see if we can shoot some rockets. We need to unlatch the boost. We're not high enough altitude for boost anymore. Those dump down quick, don't they? There we go. Hey, we got a Westby. We got a bunch of shit. Nice. Yay! Our rockets exploded. Your file transfers. What happened to your connection? Did it just get throttled for some reason? Ah, that'll do it. That'll put the kibosh on it. That's something I haven't watched in a while. I need to watch Deep Space Nine again from the start. It's been quite a long time since I've watched Deep Space Nine, or there was the other one I really liked because I liked the intrigue of it, except I thought they lost the plot after a little while. Babylon 5. I really liked Babylon 5 for a while. What's up, Gunner? How are you doing tonight? Was Laserdisc the ones that were huge? They looked like records? I remember my uncle had a bunch of Laserdisc way back in the day. It looked like records. They were huge. He had like the original Star Wars movies on Laserdisc. They were like his pride and joy. Post ammo letdown. Shit. Oh, I got a bunch of them on that pass though. That was good strafing. Alright, we're still good. They did. How's the quality of Laserdisc stand up to like Blu-ray now? Are they about the same, or is Blu-ray better quality, I would assume? I don't know by how much though. I would say the amount of storage the Blu-ray has, you can put a lot more on it for sure, but I don't know about the actual picture and sound quality. I don't know how different it's going to be. Well, back in the day, though, Laserdisc was competing with friggin' what, Betamax and VHS. So I would expect Blu-ray technology to be better. But back in the day, Laserdisc was leaps and bounds above for quality, if I remember correctly. Well, I drifted off the runway a little bit. There we go, I'm back on. Are you kidding? That wasn't too bad of a landing in this thing. This is probably the hardest landing aircraft I own now. This thing is not easy. Can't see shit. Didn't help that there's trees right on the edge of the friggin' runway. It wasn't too bad. There we go. Alright, and we are clean. It might have been a little rough. Alright, who was it? Reeves? What plane was it? F-16 and you wanted AIM-120Cs, piece of cake, we can do that. I'm assuming you already know the whole startup and all that kind of crap. You don't need any of that. Just weapon deployment. Okay. I'm just going to grab a hot start. I've got a hot start Viper then. That way it won't take too long to get up in the air and get moving. Oh, and I am going to preemptively taking my pain medicine here, so if I miss my shot or make it look bad, it's because I'm taking medicine. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. You're running my practice map on a server? What for? I mean, you have to reset the map to get, you know, stuff to repop and stuff. Oh yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. It's got stuff to practice spawning troops, picking up troops, dropping off troops, commanding tanks, commanding units, flying every different aircraft, spawning enemies to fight, different kinds of enemies to fight. It's got shit everywhere. I had a bunch of boats and stuff, but I took some of that stuff out because I've got to redo it. I think that I've made one big stronghold down south at Kobaletti, I want to say, that's pretty built up. I appreciate that, but just for like doing practice or showing things, I'll just do it in my own private one, so there's zero sync. Nice. How long's it been since you've ran ATFC? It's been a while. Awesome. Yeah, I was worried that they did some more API backend stuff at Eagle Dynamics, so I didn't know if that's going to mess up anything on Chaos. Give it a second to fully load. Always takes the engine a few when you're first loading in, especially after you've had another map already preloaded. What do they call the engine that this is programmed in? I can't remember. Shitbox. That's what it is. Alright, let's see. Let's go. AMRAM. AMRAM. AMRAM, AMRAM. And just in case, 9X and 9X. And throw on a pod. Where's my Spartans? There we go.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Copy.
The hell? We don't need lights? There we go. We don't need that. That. Don't need that. That. We want semi. We want that. And we want that. And we want that. Alright, piece of cake. Should have made the hot start with less fuel for practice. That's my bad. I'll have to do that one of these days when I remember. When I'm just farting around in the map. Because it takes... Well, I don't know. It's not going to take that long in the Viper, really. There you go. I'll say something like the Tomcat takes forever. Can I do the Kovaker Bell maneuver? Not in any jet that we have in DCS. That would be like a 5th generation maneuver. Are you talking about the one that where you basically Cobra and then stab spin and then recover? Bleed almost all your energy off. Yeah, no, there's nothing in DCS that can actually handle that maneuver. You'd have to have... It requires vector thrusting, if I remember correctly, to actually pull that off and be able to recover properly. I'm not even sure if the Raptor that has semi-vector thrusting, it's not real vector thrusting, it's just similar. I'm not even sure if the Raptor can really do it well. Well, I imagine you can do something like that and then kind of recover by the seat of your pants. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not going to do it well. It's going to bleed off way more energy in a non-5th generation. Alright, let's put some targets in the air. Really? I don't know about that one. I wonder if it was an accident. I imagine it happened because somebody departed flight and then was able to recover it well. Yeah, I mean, you can stall out in weird ways, especially if you're pulling a lot of alpha, and then recover from it, and it's basically a rupture, but like it's not a true one. That's actually a good idea. Shit, I'm going the wrong way. I mean, that one is made to be done with a special kind of wing and vector thrusting. If you're pulling it off in a regular aircraft, you're probably kind of just ghetto departing flight and recovering. But in non-fifth generation, you're in serious danger of leaf stalling or even flat spinning. Well, yeah, and the reason it works in a fifth gen though is because they do use the stabs to swing, but they're also using vector thrusting to control it and do it quickly while you're departed in flight, while maintaining control. And if you don't have that, you're just kind of faking it and hoping you make it out the other end without flat spinning or leaf stalling. And I don't even know, like I get the basic mechanics of how they do it, but I wouldn't expect any normal jet that's not vector thrusting to be able to pull it off well. It would just be kind of cobraing into a hard wind and then trying to kick it over and then just trying to recover for dear life. Whereas the actual maneuver with vector thrusting, you're controlling it the whole time, so when you're done departing flight, you can resume on and get your energy back and control it, so you're not gaining or losing a bunch of altitude when you do it, whereas a non-vector thrusting aircraft is just going to be kind of at the mercy. Alright. How many did I put in the air? 3? Or did I put any? I put 3. Okay, that'll be fine. Alright, so we will just go over acquiring some targets and shooting 120s at them. BVR. Beyond visual range, I assume. Or semi-BVR if we get close enough. We don't need to use the burner. We can leave the blower off. We're not heavy. We could do an unrestricted climb though, because we're so light. see, master arm on. Air-to-air master mode. We're probably looking somewhere around 090. And they should be at 20,000 feet, which I can see one of them already. We're looking at 40. Let's go out to 80. There we go. Now we can see them clear as day. Pitch the antenna down a little bit. Alright, so there's one of our boys. I forgot to fence in, but we'll get there in a moment. Oh, did I lose them already? That didn't take long. There we go, we got a data link. There they are on data link. Let's go ahead and go back to 40. Tighten up the... Oh, let's go down to 2 bar. There we go. So they're about 50 miles out. We'll get them soon. We tighten the radar into them to make sure we can pick them up even quicker. Seems how we have a data link to let us know about where they are and how altitude they are, so we can tighten the radar up so that it doesn't take near as many scans to get good tracks on them. And we can see we're flying right at them. And all we got to do is, there's one right there. Except that's not correct. I'm not sure what that is. They're not quite in the range of our radar yet because we're out at 40. The reason why they're disappearing is because they're beaming the signal off the AWACS. So they're flying perpendicular to the AWACS that's tracking them, which makes them blip off and on the radar so they don't get good tracks on them. That's why if somebody says you need to beam it, what they mean is to get either above it or below it and fly parallel to the signal, because you'll disappear from the radar. Alright, here we go. That's probably one of them right there. Okay, there we go. See the yellow ones? So, if it's red, that means it's just the AWACS letting us know. If it's yellow, that means our radar also sees it. So now we can get a good solid lock on them. So one click up and we have them, and one more, now we have a single target track. Now we can see them in the HUD. Now we can see our symbology. That's the caret for our range to shoot. The first spot is your maximum range to fire, and the next spot would be the MAR, which would be the minimum abort range. You also got symbology on the big circle right here. When you get close enough, there'll be an inlet that appears and starts coming in, and that triangle for your shot. If you're going to shoot AMRAAMs from a distance, the higher you are, the better, as long as the target's high as well. If you're really high and the target's on the ground, it's not going to help you as much, because AMRAAMs, the thinner the air, the farther they fly and the more maneuverability they have when they're doing it. So right now he's at 20,000 feet and I'm at 25,000 feet, so I'm going to hit the burner. We're already up to Mach 1 now, and now we're starting to get a shooting solution a lot quicker because we're going so much faster. So you can see now we're inside the shooting zone, so we have a shooting solution. If the arrow gets down here, then we're inside the mar. If you fire from inside the mar and it's a good shot, the likelihood of it hitting is the highest percentage you're going to have. But you can fire AMRAAMs from a lot farther away than inside the mar. So this one, we're just going to lead him a little bit. And Fox 3. We'll fire a long one at him here. Now I'm going to lay off the throttle and just let that missile do its work. You notice this... Oh shit, I lost fucking track already. That's interesting. So that missile's still going to try to track on its own, but I'm no longer helping it along. It's a Fox 3, so it's going to do it by itself. We'll see if we need to fire another one or not. It looks like it's still tracking good, though. AMRAAMs are Fox 3s, so they have their own radar. If they lose the signal from you, they'll use their own radar to try to finish the shot. Nope, it got him. There's another guy right there. Same thing again, we locked him up. We see him on there. We're well inside the mar now. If we fire an AMRAAM from here, probability is probably like 95%. The only way you can dodge an AMRAAM from this close, unless it's too close, is if they chaff it and the chaff works. But he's toast. I mean, but that's all there is to AMRAAMs. The length of the shot depends on the attitude of your opponent. So if your opponent's flying away from you, then the shot's going to not go as near as far as you want it to because they're actively trying to get away from the missile. So that's why sometimes it's like, wow, I thought I could fire AMRAAMs at 40 miles. Why am I at 15 miles and it's still not letting me shoot? It's probably because your opponent is flying away from you. Other factors are the thickness of the air, which would be your altitude. The higher you are, the thinner the air is, and the more speed and maneuverability your missile can maintain its energy better. That's why if you go defensive, you see people diving down towards the ground because they're trying to get to the thicker air to bleed all the energy off that missile to make them less lethal. Is that our boy? Yep, that looks like him. So like right now I could pickle this, or I could fire this AMRAAM off right here, and this guy's dead. He doesn't have that much energy now. He's trying to turn back to the left. We're inside the mar. This AMRAAM's got like a 95% kill rate. But if I were to slow down a little bit and let him start flying away from me, you'll notice that this arrow will start going backwards because the shooting solution is going to get worse. The only reason why it's still going down is because I'm doing almost, I was doing 500 knots. I'm gaining on him pretty quick. Get my speed brake out here and try to slow down drastically. Yeah, this is not going to be a good example because I'm just going so fast. And he's getting ready to turn into me, it looks like. Oh, but I lost lock. And that's probably because he got perpendicular to my radar for a long enough period of time that it lost the track. See, I'm having trouble just locking him now. Point. Little BFM. But that's the basic gist of AMRAAMs. You can fire them from pretty damn far away. You don't have to get inside the mar to make your shots successful. As a matter of fact, a lot of time not going to get inside the MAR, because if you get that close to them, then that means they're also that close to you. So normal BVR, like offense and defense, would be you want to get your AMRAAM or whatever missile you're firing from a long distance on them before they can get one on you, because if they don't get a missile off on you and they have to go defensive, now you can press them, which means you're going to get closer to make your next shot, you know, certainly way more lethal if they actually defend the first one enough. So usually your first shots are not inside the MAR. Your kill shot that you really want to have is inside the MAR, but most of your shots are going to be outside of the MAR, but inside of a shooting solution. Now the real trick is knowing the different radar types and missile types. Fox 1, which is your AIM-7 Sparrows and those types, those are, the radar is from your jet. When you lock onto them, they know you've locked onto them, and when you fire that AIM-7, they know you fired that thing. And you have to maintain the lock all the way to the target. If you lose lock at any time, that Sparrow just became junk. It is now stupid. It's just going to fly straight and just go away. So Fox 1s, you have to maintain lock from the shot to the connection. Until it proximity fuses, you got to maintain the lock. Fox 2 is your M9 Sidewinder style heater missiles. So they don't require any kind of a real lock. You're just getting tone off of the seeker head on the missile itself. The enemy doesn't know that you have them locked when you're firing heaters because you're not locking onto them. Your seeker of the missile is just seeing their heat signature, their infrared signature, and tracking to it. So they're basically ninja missiles. They have, unless you see them shoot one at you, you don't know it's coming. There's no warning. There's no radar warning from a heater. Fox 3s are the newest missiles, and they're a mixture of a Fox 1 and a Fox 2, basically, in a sense. It's not infrared, but I'll explain how it works. When you lock somebody up, you are tracking the target for your AIM-3, your AIM-120, for your AMRAAM. So it's getting its guidance to the target from you. Once you lose that lock, the built-in radar in the AMRAAM, in the Fox 3, will then connect to that radar target it's been tracking through the jet and finish the track with its own radar. Now the trick to that can make them even trickier is the two differences in the way you use your radar. There's RWS, which is range while scan, which is your standard way of looking at stuff, where you can kind of passively start tracking them, and then when you put them into a single target track, it'll lock them up, and the enemy will know you've locked them up because you have them locked up by radar signature. Now if you come down here and go to TWS, that's track while scan. So track while scan, if you just lock them up once, you're just tracking them, which means you're passively tracking them. The way you're doing that is you're not actually locking them up directly, so they don't know you're tracking them. It's because the radar is just sweeping back and forth and tracking them passively that way. Track while scan does not give the enemy a notification that they are being tracked. But if you hit the lock button again, it will put them into an STT, which is single target track. Once you put someone in a single target track, you have them solid locked, just like any other mode, which means the enemy's going to know you have them locked. But if you just put them in a passive track, which is just clicking on them once, then you're just tracking them passively and they don't know. Now, a Fox 1, you have to have an STT to fire. A Fox 3, though, you can fire it using a passive track while scan. So you can fire an AMRAAM from a pretty far distance away, and the enemy, if they don't know you're there, and they won't know that you're there because you haven't locked them, so if they don't have someone saying, hey, there's somebody on you 40 miles away, you can fire an AMRAAM with a passive track while scan, and the missile is going to use your jet's guidance, not its own, for until it gets really close. So the enemy will not know that a missile has been fired at it. Now, as soon as the AMRAAM gets close enough to be in terminal velocity, which means it's close enough to where it can finish the track inside the MAR, that missile will automatically drop the TWS track it's using and use its own. And then that's when the enemy is going to all of a sudden know that there is not just a launch, that there's a terminal missile on them very close. So instead of like beep beep beep, it'll be going beep 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 beep, and that means you're fucked. So you can ninja fire AMRAAMs at people, and they won't know they're close to them until they go pit bull. When you say the missile goes pit bull, that's when the AMRAAM turns its own tracking on and finishes the track and explodes on the target. That's going pit bull, or ACM launching. And that's when they go pit bull right off the rail. But as long as you keep a TWS track on a target and don't actually fully lock them up, and you fire an AMRAAM, they have no idea the AMRAAM's coming until it gets close enough to go pit bull. So if you fire that missile from a pretty high altitude and a very high velocity, like you're doing Mach 1.4 or 1.5, by the time that thing goes pit bull and they didn't know it was coming, so they're not defensive yet, they're probably fucking dead. But if you break lock, it goes pit bull immediately. An AMRAAM can finish its own track from pretty far away. But the closer to the MAR before the missile goes pit bull, the better your chances are for killing. And again, if you fire a missile inside the MAR, which means it's going to go pit bull off the rail more than likely, your probability of kill is extremely high inside the MAR. And the reason why all your symbology here might be throwing you for a loop, it's like, why I shouldn't be getting this close with my AMRAAM. It's probably because maybe you're kind of low. Maybe you're not going that fast. Maybe the opponent is flying away from you or at an angle away from you on a flank, and that's why the computer is not giving you a good solid shot yet. Because they're already going away from you, they can hit their burner and get away from that missile more than likely, unless you get really close. So that's why missiles can be confusing sometimes. I'm wondering why you're not able to shoot them from as far away as you'd want to, and those are the reasons why. And that's a very basic rundown on radar and missiles. But that is the basics of it. There's a lot more to it, but that's a kind of colloquial knowledge of it that'll get you going. And like I said, beaming is if someone is directly in front of me. Let's say we're going 345, right? And an enemy fired a missile at us, and I look at my radar, and he's right in front of us, and he fired a missile. So to go defensive, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start going down because I want to drive that missile into the thick air, which is going to burn a lot of its energy because a missile only has so much energy, right? And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my nose perpendicular to the firing aircraft. So now, right there, I am now beaming that shot. And now I'm going to hit my burner, and I'm going to haul ass. And right now, right when I'm beaming right now, I'm going to leave chaff behind me. If you chaff before that or after that, it's less probability that the chaff is going to work. But if you get directly into the notch, which is what you're doing when you're beaming, you're in the notch, you're perpendicular to the radar that fired at you and the missile, then your chaff is super effective. So you have a better chance of chaffing a missile off if you're in the notch. The other thing you can do when you're defensive, if you don't think that worked and you're trying to be ultra careful, is then go cold. Which means if you're already in the notch and you think it's still tracking you, you can turn cold and just head for the hills. Also, if you were high up and you went down low in altitude as quickly as possible, you can also drive the missile into the ground. Because the missile is trying to predict where you're going to be, not where you're at. So if you get really low very quickly, then the missile is not expecting to hit you right here where you are. It's expecting to hit you way forward a ways. So when you get down to the ground, the missile's trying to drop down even farther, and it's going to hit the ground. So that's why you drive them into the ground. Not just for the thick air, but because you want them to go into the ground. The other thing is missile tactics once you've fired. So, with a Fox 1, you have to maintain the lock all the way till it fuses. Basically, until it explodes. If it either misses or explodes, then you can break the lock after that. AMRAAMs, once you break the lock, they'll guide themselves, but the more you guide, the more you can hold the lock, the better the guidance is, the better the missile is. So the other tactic that a pilot's going to use for firing a missile and trying to give it the best opportunity to have the highest percentage chance of killing your bandit and you not dying is called cranking. So cranking is the effect of once you fire your missile, you want to start going defensive right away. Even if they haven't fired a missile yet, you're going to start cranking. So cranking would be, if I've got them locked up right here where my cursor is, cranking would be going down and to the left or right, whichever you want, to where that target is right on the edge of your radar, but not off the radar. If you go farther, you lose the lock, right? So cranking would be to go down and to the side, and then and you're going to the side, the target is going like this, and then you stop going to the side right here, and you maintain the crank, which means you're just offset, but you're still going low, and you're still gaining out energy and trying to be defensive against anything they fired, but you're still maintaining your lock for as long as you possibly can. And in the case of Fox 1s, you got to do this a lot because you can't lose the lock until the missile hits. So that's called cranking. You're just holding the lock, but still being defensive. Because the minute you break that lock, if it's a Fox 1, it's dead. If it's a Fox 3, it's on its own now. So you always want to maintain the lock as long as you can, unless you're in imminent danger, and then you're just going to have to go either into the notch or cold. There you go. Just do all that perfectly and you're set. Warning though, even if you do everything exactly perfectly, missiles can still break through and kill you. Missiles can still get enough guidance and enough momentum to get you. You just got to do everything you can to make sure that doesn't happen. It's a percentage game. You decrease the enemy's missiles percentage and you increase your missiles percentage until one of you wins. And that's the majority of jet combat. Going into a merge and getting into a BFM or ACM situation is more rare than anything. Like merges haven't even happened in American military history for a while now, because we have radars and good technology with guided missiles. Most of it's BVR. And if you didn't notice, the radar on the Viper is a lot easier to use than the Hornet. It's very simple. You got your A, that's your azimuth. So all the way across, shrink it. It'd be the same as the degrees on the Hornet, where you can go 20, 40, 60, 80, 140. It's the same thing, except it's just in 3 increments, so it's quicker. The bars is the exact same thing. The more bars, the more altitude you can cover, but the more times it has to go all the way across to scan all that. So it takes you a lot longer to get a good track. I usually stick to 2 bars for the most part. And then of course your range, 80 miles, 40 miles, 20 miles. And of course you got to think of your radar as a big cone coming off the nose of your aircraft. So the longer you stick it out, the smaller the cone is, getting closer to you. So if something's at 20 miles and you're scanning all the way out to 80, but you think you got it covered because your up and down is so huge. Like right now at 80 miles, I'm scanning, let's see, right from here, I'm scanning basically from the ground all the way up to 30,000 feet, right? So I'm going to catch everything, not even close, because if something's within 30 miles, it can be right here almost at like 15,000 feet, and I'm not going to see it because my azimuth is so tight trying to get all the way out to 80 miles and 30,000 feet to the ground, that the cone is big at the end and skinny all the way up close to me, if that makes sense. You got to think of the cone like going up like this, a triangle, except the longer you stick that triangle out there with the higher the altitudes and lower the altitudes, then it gets skinnier quicker. It's like a toothpick going out to a big disc. So that's why a lot of people have trouble with radar. Why am I not picking it up? My data link says they're right here, and it's like, well, how far past it are you trying to scan, or are you sure you're at the right azimuth, and so on and so forth. So you always got to think of your radar as this big ass cone, and it's really easy. Like if you look right here on the HSD, so there's a big ass azimuth, right? So let's shrink it down. Okay, so you notice that right here I'm going to know right where the jet is. But if it's over here, it might still be where I think I'm seeing it, but I'm not seeing it for some reason, and it's confusing me, and that's probably why. It's because you've got it narrowed out, or you're looking so far away, and it's the altitude that's getting you. It's not the ground to 30,000 feet from your cone all the way to 80,000. It's that at, or 80 miles I mean. It's that at 80 miles, which means that altitude range is shrinking all the way back to your jet. I guess that's the best way to think of it. So that can get you in trouble when you're trying to spot targets and you have trouble seeing them on your radar. It's probably because of that. Yeah, there you go. Hennick can probably describe all this stuff way better than me. But Hennick could also get in trouble if he divulges too much information. Actually, yeah, he'd probably give basically the same information because he can't get into specifics of radar types and their capabilities because that's illegal. People in black suits show up when you start spewing that kind of information a lot. People show up to take away your toys. Alright, there we go. Radars and Missiles 101 for the Viper. And the information's pretty much universal. It's just different working the radar in different jets, but the ideas and the way stuff works is the same. For the most part. And then once you get better with BVR and all that stuff, then you can start learning about dogfight mode and switching your scans when you're in dogfight mode. Like that, that's bore sight. So you just put the target inside that little thing here and it'll auto lock it. Or you hit up again and now you have it on HEMIX. So you use your HEMIX and look at the target. If you hold that over the target, it'll lock them up inside that little circle. Or you can hit back a couple of times, and then that puts you in vertical scan, which means it's scanning from right here way above you. So if you can't find the target, you can put it in vertical scan and then start turning like this, keeping your wings parallel to the ground. And that's how you lock people up in this mode. Piece of cake. Alright, is there anything else you wanted me to go over with the F-16 while I'm here? Or is that good? Is that enough for you to munch on? My data link said there was someone out here. Might be a ghost. Oh, it's probably that helicopter. Oh, yep, there he is. Yeah, 1,000 feet, so that's probably that helicopter. Now, we're going to put this into track while scan, just because helicopters are a pain in the ass to try to get a good lock on. Go into a single bar and tighten it up a little bit. So now we're really sweeping that area hard. Even the AWACS is having trouble seeing it, and that's just because it's a helicopter. So right now I can't lock that because that's a data link signal. That's why it's just a red enemy. So it is IF depth as enemy, but I can't lock it or do anything with it. I just know it's there. So we'll just try to keep our track wall scan over the target, keep our parameters on him, and hopefully we can get a signal, but it's very unlikely we're going to get a signal from this far away on the helicopter. Many factors will get into that. The range of it, the smallness of it, the fact that it's not actively using its radar probably at the moment. It's an old hind, and the hind can just shut its radar off, making it even harder to pick a signal up on it. Usually you have to get it with a heater from close range. Helicopters are pretty hard to get heaters on well too, because all helicopters use IR defenses, where they're basically all the exhaust ports on helicopters point the exhaust into the rotor wash, and that dissipates the heat from the exhaust quickly, so it makes it hard for a heater to get a good solid lock on it. That's why you can have a lot of trouble getting a good, even getting a Fox 2 to lock onto a damn helicopter sometimes. The best weapons against helicopters are like Mavericks and stuff like that, laser guided missiles, shit like that, that doesn't require a radar signature or a heat signature to be successful. There we go. We got a good track on him now from our jet. There we go. We got him locked. Nope. And he disappeared. That's how easy it is to lose the lock on a helicopter. So what we can do is, we're not going to do a full lock on him. We're going to hit the... Yep, I lost him again. I'm going to try to just hit forward on my switch once to get a passive lock on, because we're in TWS. There we go. We got it. Okay, now we got a passive track on him. Nope, he disappeared already. If I can keep a passive track on him long enough and we're close enough, I can fire an AMRAAM and it should pit bull him. So there's 2 clicks and now he's passively tracked. If I click one more time, he'll be in an STT. Now he's in an STT. So 1 and passive track. Now we just want to hope it doesn't go away. Let's go back to 40. Oop, we're going to go to 40. Oh, I lost it. I thought he was close enough to be in 40. Now we got a good solid. See, it's yellow now. And that means it's yellow because the data link can see him and our radar can see him, so it's yellow. That's going to give us the best track. All right, now we're at 40 miles. Oops. So 1 and 1. Okay, now we got a passive track on him. And because it's a helicopter, like right now if this was a jet, I'd probably fire on it. But I'm going to get a full STT because it's a friggin' helicopter, and I want to give that AMRAAM every bit I can because helicopters are just notorious for missiles losing their track. We're roughly 30 miles out. Oh, and we lost it. Passive again. Now we've got an STT on him. Go ahead and go into air-to-air master mode. So you can tell. See, look how right now the shooting solution and the MAR are basically at the exact same spot, and that's because the target is so close to the ground, and we're not even able to get up to Mach 1 right now, mainly because I think I have my speed brake out. I do, because I'm an idiot. All right, we'll be able to get up to Mach 1 now. Oh, there you go. We're already over Mach 1. But the reason why our shooting solution is so terrible is because the target is small and it's really low to the ground. So the air down here is really thick. So if I wanted to get a better shot off right now, I'd start gaining altitude. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to kind of just run this thing in because I want to get kind of close to this thing because it is a helicopter and I know it's a helicopter. And we're within 20 miles now, so I'll run my radar in a little bit closer. See, like right now, a normal person that doesn't really know a lot about like the radar, the way the radar works or how missiles work would be confused because they'd be like, I'm getting really close to this thing. See, we're at 13 and a half miles. That's the range to target right there. And we're still not even inside the normal shooting solution. That's crazy. But that, again, that's because it's a small target, there's ground clutter, and the air is extremely thick. So we're going really fast though. We're gonna ACM this thing. So as soon as I fire this thing, it's gonna come off the rail and it's gonna pit bull right away because we're so close. We're at 8 miles. So there you go. There's a shooting solution, and now we're already inside the mark. And that's probably the best shot we're gonna have right there. 5 miles, Fox 3.
Altitude. Altitude.
We'll give him another one. One hit, and the second one went right under it. It missed, but it doesn't matter. He's toast. But you saw how close I had to get a high percentage shot on that thing. I fired at 5 miles. But that's not because my missiles are crap or I was doing something wrong. It's just because the enemy was flying away from us at an angle, and they are at the thickest point of air. So that missile needs all the help it can get. Basically, it wants to make sure it has fuel burning when it hits that target. Because missiles only have so much fuel. They don't do crazy 90 degree or 180 degree turns like in movies. And they only burn for a little bit after you fire them, and then it's all stored energy that it's utilizing. Oh boy. I gotta get out of here. I just flew into a SA-15 Tor Gauntlets envelope.
Cap flare. Cap flare. Cap flare.
There you go. Class dismissed, Reeves. As soon as you get your new HOTES, put it to practice. Just knowing that information will usually help people to start visualize and understand what's going on a lot better, even if it didn't all jam in your head all at once. Now that you've heard how stuff works, stuff will start kind of slowly make more sense, and you'll start making better decisions probably after a little bit. I know the first time I had radars explained to me a long ass time ago, I was really confused for a while. But then other things started making more sense once I kind of started absorbing that knowledge. So you'll get there. Oh, Gremlin, I'm so pissed off too. Earlier, I was capturing footage for some of my YouTube videos I'm working on. I needed some clips for some of my edits. So I was doing some BFM and a Hornet to get some cool shots of maneuvers. That way I can put them into replay and capture a bunch of different angles and have some good shots for my videos. So I did about 45 minutes of flying and did a lot of cool shit. And then as soon as I tried to load up the replay, that replay fails to load, so I just lost it all. I didn't get anything. What is with friggin' DCS and replays randomly not working? Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. It drives me nuts. Okay, what was I doing before this? Oh, I was doing Normandy shit. All right. Normandy. All right, I need to do some practice for me. So I need to turn on infinite ammo because I don't want to have to keep landing and taking off in a friggin' warbird just to drop a single bomb. Let's see. Mission. World War II, World War II. Where's my map for World War II? Right there. Oop, I'll be back while this loads. It's going to take a second because it's got to unload Caucasus and then reload Normandy. It's going to take Eagle Dynamics engine a bit to do that. I'll be right back. Alright, I am... Nope, I'm not back. I forgot to grab a drink. What time is it? 11. So I need to draw some blood in about an hour and a half. I need like a little alarm thing because I always get involved in what I'm doing and I keep forgetting to do my normal stay alive stuff. Because I'm an idiot like that. Alright, what do we want to practice bombing in? Let's start with the Mustang, I guess. Oh, I need to split my throttles. And I need to pause it. Alright, active pause. Gotta let it load up. Four rockets and 2 bombs. Okay. Such a beautiful airplane. I would love to fly one of these just once before I plot. Alright, are we pretty loaded? Make sure my controls are all good. Okay, that's good. Let's see, RPMs, we need to back that off to about 2400. There we go, and manifold pressure, we'll run it at about 36, 35. Oops. That should be cruise. Let's see, those are good, that's not good. That's fine. Radio, that's good. Okay, I think we're good. Well, let's go ahead and turn on. gun sights on. So let's drop bombs. Right there. I think that's where it needs to be if I remember correctly, right? Oh no, if you go down. I don't think I messed with that. Or is that for arming? Yeah, arm. Okay, yeah, I gotta arm the bombs. There we go, okay. And this is for rockets. We'll go ahead and set that as well. And that should be fine. Instant delay, yeah, that's all good. Okay. Is everything loaded? It looks good. Looks like the whole map is loaded. I haven't done much work on this. This is just my new practice map for World War II stuff, the new Normandy map. So I just started doing stuff with it, so there's not a whole lot on the map yet. But I will slowly over time bill it out. This is pretty cool up here. 1944 London? I think that's the time frame of Normandy 2, right? Such a beautiful map. Okay, so we're gonna fly over here and we're gonna practice dropping bombs here, here, here. Oh, and I do have a patrol of vehicles too. I need to check on that and make sure the patrol goes all the way around and keeps going again. Make sure that works. Okay. Unpausing. Whoa, there we go. We're flying. Sort of. Bear with me. I'm just learning Warbirds, so I am not good on accuracy with bombs and rockets with these old planes yet. I just haven't done it enough. Practice makes perfect. Alright, so I'm set up for bombs? Yes. What's the parameters on the... Okay, no, we're good. Okay, so I can go up to 3,000 RPMs, but it's best to stay 27 to 24. And I don't want to spike the manifold pressure unless I have to, and then I go into wartime power, which I think is 15 minutes. In the Mustang, when you go to wartime power, is the 15 minutes, is it injecting coolant for 50? Is that 15 minutes worth of coolant? Is that why it's able to do that? I'm assuming that's what it is. It'll have water or some kind of coolant that it has 15 minutes supply of, which is what allows you to wrap it harder without it seizing up. It's pretty high up there. I'm gonna have to basically kill the engine to do this dive, but I gotta be careful I don't windmill the prop. And then I'll go ahead and bring the manifold pressure down to like 25 and bring the RPMs down even lower. During the dive I'll probably run it at about 1800 RPMs maybe, so the governor just doesn't windmill it. That should be good. Have to pay attention to our speed now. Oh, I think we're gonna get too fast. We'll see. I think we'll be okay. As long as we don't get up to 500. And pickle. Oh, they blew up. I was a little bit far though. Alright. Get our RPMs back up to 25. We'll go 2600. We got to climb back up a little bit. Makes me wish I could have flown one of these old-timey planes in real life at least once, because, now I did fly a couple of, well, I shouldn't say a couple. I flew one plane that did have a double throttle, where one of them was the RPM and the other one was for the pressure. But the problem is in that plane it was a little bit newer, and it was like a helicopter basically. So the secondary throttle for the RPMs, as soon as the engine's running and warm, you just put it up, and then you don't touch it anymore. It auto adjusted from there. So the only control you had was your main throttle, which controls the pressure. All right, did my bombs respawn? They did. Ease off the RPMs. Cruise, almost up to 250 knots. It's amazing how well the Mustang does cruise. You don't have to stress the motor much at all just to fly and to cruise. And it gains speed pretty easily in cruise. Just 2,400 RPMs and running your pressure below 36. It's not too hard at all. A little bit of a flat run. We're going to have to dip her down a little bit right before we drop. Just like that. Alright. Pickle. Oh, that went right on him. I'm happy with that. That was perfect. That landed right on that artillery piece. Let's see if we can get some bombs into that tree line there where all the Nazis are. All the Car 98 troops in the tree line. Drop a couple of 500-pounders in their lap. Man, this map looks so damn good. I need to make a modern map using this map though, you know what I mean? Just a big war map. I imagine streaming across this countryside would be fun as shit. In something going a little faster than 200 knots. I'm going a little slow, so my drop is going to be a little... going to have to change this on the fly in my brain. That's why I need more practice, because you got to do all these calculations for these old-timey bombers kind of in your head as you're going. It's a feeling, you got to get the feel of it. Oh, that looked like it was right in the tree line. And I see a bunch of dead Car 98 troops. Kaboom! Hell yeah, let's try rocket. I'm actually surprised I'm getting these bombs this close to the target. I thought I would do worse. I still need shitloads of practice, but... There we go, rockets. Alright. Yeah, I was clicking on it. The toggle wasn't going. And I hate those old tiny three-way toggles. Alright, so these rockets, these old rockets, they come off the rail and they dip down so fast. It's so hard to use them because they don't fly straight off the rail and like go forward with any kind of good velocity. They kind of, it almost feels like a grenade on a stick just being flung. They just shoot down. We'll see if we can get these rockets into those tanks and artillery pieces and whatever else is there. Can't really tell. I know I put some tanks in there and some artillery pieces and some other shit. You want to shoot these early? Oh shit! What? Oh, those look good. Oh yeah, lots of that. Oh yeah, that was right in there. Damn it. That I wish I was missing a little bit more. I don't want to have everything hit right where I want it to hit right away, because then I'm worried later on I'm going to miss everything. I haven't done it enough. Do one more rocket pass and see if I can get them into those tanks one more time, get some more kills. Then we'll move on to another target and drop bombs on a different target and see if I can be as accurate on a different target. New reference points. Oh, I'm slow. We're gonna have to do this one fast. I'm gonna stay on the throttle. You know what? Those ones hit early, didn't they? Yep. A little bit early. See, there we go. That makes me feel better. I knew they were going to go early. I knew I messed up. That's something I can learn from. Oh, Gremlin, I'm sorry. I didn't even see that message in Discord. I'll look at it in a second. I'm sorry. I just looked up and I've got the big red thing. Go Mustang engine. Come on, pull me forward a little bit more. Need to maintain 200 here. There we go. Now we're cooking with Olean. Alright, aim a little higher. That's not good. Ouch! I got too close. Decent rockets. But I took it in the face. Not the engine. Getting a little hot. Tennessee's up. Hopefully it doesn't bring the temperature down enough so it doesn't seize up. Oh, no, there she goes. She's dying. She's dead. What's our airspeed? 200? Alright, we got a minute. I think we're far enough away from the bad guys. We got enough altitude. Make sure. Okay, there's some empty field over here. I don't want to drop this plane on somebody's house. Speed 150. Okay, we gotta get out now. Thing's gonna fall like a rock soon. Want to sell one P50 Mustang. Slightly used. Bring paint. Alright, let's try another Mustang. Let's go to the other target. Oh, crap. That's not going to work. I got to jump into something else first. Okay, well, let's try a P-47 Thunderbolt. I'm going to have to active pause it while I get over there. Let it all load in and make sure everything's set. Alright, so there is throttle. Right there will be good. Alright, set our manifold pressure right about there. The boost? Is the boost on? The boost is on. Why is the boost on? What's my altitude? Oh, are we really that? Yeah, we're at 12,000 feet. Okay, yeah, I guess we'll have the boost on. We're not going to need the boost for very damn long, though. As soon as I dive down once. Alright, so we need... What's our armament? Oh, those are fatties. We got 10 rockets and 2,000 pounders. Getting busy. So we need to arm them. So we need to there, and there. Once we shoot our rockets, we can preemptively turn that on, leave that all the same, then we just have to switch this. Fire our rockets. Oxygen is on. Good. Cow flaps are closed. And we're running in spec. We need to open up the intercooler a little bit. We'll run it about there and see what that does for us. Should bring down the temperature a little bit. Alright, unpausing. Woo. And we gotta trim the shit out of it. Alright, we're pretty trim. What's that look like? Oh yeah, that's a lot of trim. Yeah, look at that. We're not that tall. We're already losing boost pressure just flying level right now. We're not that high. soon as I go for the first bomb, the first dive, I'm gonna have to kill the boost right away. Preemptively. Where's my switch to change my sights? Or is that automatic? I think the gyro sight stays on all the time. You can't switch it off. Alright, where are we going to? Let's go to this airfield over here. There's a lot of bad stuff there. Let's drop some bombs on it. I just gotta check one thing, because that's driving me nuts about the... Okay, that's the mixture. Tail walk, sorry. Trim the rudder, that's fine. Nothing. Nothing on like all the... This is the gear though, right? Yeah, that's the gear. What about this? Okay, that's my shutters. Nothing. Oh, that's my brakes. What's this? Oh, canopy, open, close. Okay, what about the sight? There we go. HOTS throttle. Okay, so this is the gun sight stuff, the wingspan and the range target. Five. Let's make that 4. And then 3, and then that'll be easy for me to reach up just to change the settings if that's what it is. Let's see. Oh, okay. You can't get rid of the gyro apparently. So I had 5 selected just for that. Okay, that's fine. Gyro doesn't bother me that much. Not going to be dogfighting in a Thunderbolt all that much. It's not the best dogfighter. Pretty good at going high altitude and dropping bombs though. It's good at intercepting other people's bombers because it can go so high and has the boost. It's got a really good turbocharging system. Speaking of which, we're already losing a bit of altitude. We're going to kill the boost now, so I don't damage the engine. Running the boost this low altitude. How's our temperature, by the way? Did it come down? It did come down a little bit, so okay, let's open her up just a little bit more. So we're getting ready to work the engine a little bit. Had to add a bunch of throttle now because I turned the boost off. Alright. Bring the RPMs down a bit, bring the manifold pressure way down. Roll into the target. I see enemy planes next to the runway. Oh wait, I see a big factory. Let's drop bombs on the big factory. Pickle. Oh, I actually hit the damn factory. God, you know, if I go on to like the World War II server, like one of those World War II servers I saved, so when I get better I can start flying on there. You know I'm gonna miss every damn bomb because I'm hitting all of these. That factory is on fire. Alright, let's see if we can hit the other factory. I'm not gonna be moving as fast this time. I'm not gonna be coming in from as high. I have to plan accordingly. Plus they know I'm coming now. I might get... I don't remember what all's here, but I'm sure there's some anti-air. I'm sure there's some guns down there, some Bow 4s or something. I don't see any flak yet, though. That's good. I don't want flak. Flak bad. Alright, here we go. Rolling in. We want that big factory right in front of us. Pickle. Kaboom! Those bombs are not doing as much damage as... Look at that. It hit it right in the square in the face, though. It's on fire. Alright, let's see if we can switch to rockets and put some rockets on those airplanes that are next to the runway there. Oops. So, to go to rockets, we just have to do that. Should be it. Ooh, easy mix. Started banking this thing like I'm in an A-10, and that's not going to work out. Although this is the predecessor to the A-10. The P-47 Thunderbolt is the Thunderbolt 1. The A-10C2 is the Thunderbolt 2. This is the predecessor. Oh, there's a bunch of people there. Those ferrets? Is that what that is? Oh, that hurt him. That hurt him. Still got to strafe those airplanes. In reality, that would be one of the first targets, is dropping the bombs and the rockets and strafing all the aircraft that are in the infield before they start moving to the runway to kill us. Whoa, easy. I'm trying to fly the aircraft too much. I got to think of this thing like one of my old Quicksilvers. Once you have a decent amount of momentum, you have to just kind of direct the plane to lay over and let the weight and the momentum kind of turn the plane for you. Start trying to manhandle it. It ain't going to work out for you. It's going to be bad. You're going to have a bad time. Alright, let's hit them with the rockets and some guns. Nope, no rockets. I gotta reset it probably. Oh my gosh. That's a heavy stick. Oh, that's such a heavy stick. Oh, I'm side sliding. This is not good. Oh, Jesus. I don't know if I'm gonna hold on here. Oh no, the bombs respawn. Shit, I can't even jettison them. Usually if you're doing infinite ammo for practice, oh gosh, I'm gonna fall out of the sky soon. they'll respawn, but if you jettison them, then they don't respawn. That way, if you want to land or something. Oh my gosh, why am I? Something's very wrong. The engine appears to be doing okay. I'm gonna have to open up that all the way now, though. And the other one too. Let's open up the cowl flap a little bit. Cool us down. Oh yeah, it already cooled us down quite a bit. We're flying so rough. See, this sucks because now I can't practice in a landing because I've got too much weight on me now. I can't get rid of it, unfortunately. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Rudder stuck. Got neutral trim. We're gonna have to bail. Ooh. That thing felt like a rock. Alright, now we can go back to the Mustang. The only problem with doing a hot start of one of these old aircraft is you got to active pause it pretty quick to get all your stuff set up right. That's all good. Oh, we'll leave that off. I don't want to hear that stupid alarm every 5 seconds. Oh, the O2's already on. Alright. We're good to go. I guess go back to that airfield where I got shot full of lead. See if we can drop our bombs there. Put some more bombs on those factories. That tells you a lot right there. Dropping those bombs I was dropping off that P-47, each one of those is 1,000 pounds, but it's an old-timey, short, thin, dumb bomb. They don't fly very well. They tend to drop like rocks. They're basically like modern snake eyes. They're like the modern snake eyes almost, the way they kind of retard their own flight. And their explosives are not near as potent or as good as what we have now. So 1,000 pounds back then is not even close to the explosive power that our 1,000 pounds are now. And you can tell because those bombs, 2,000 pounds of explosives hit both those factories solid, and it didn't wreck them out. It just lit them on fire and did some damage. And that makes sense. That's why back in the old days when they were bombing something, they didn't drop a couple bombs. They would send, 30 planes to drop 2 bombs each. And just level the area. Or they'd send in like the B-17s and carpet the place. It's not like today where if we drop a 1,000-pound bomb on a factory, that factory ceases to function. It's pretty much wrecked. And usually we're going to use a 2,000-pounder for that. Drop something like either a JDAM or a paveway. But our explosive technology has come, way farther. The fire's already out. Yep, those fires are already out. Let's see if we can relight them. Really close to too fast. Very close to too fast. Boom boom! Nice. Get the LPMs up a little bit. Mouse for a minute though. Ooh, I overshot it. At least my dive angles are pretty good. I'm not getting all shot full of holes every time I'm trying to get a bomb on there because I'm not running it too close. I got hit. Oh, right in the pickle barrel. Those bombs shacked out that factory. That's awesome. Finished it off. And I didn't windmill my engine. That's friggin' sweet. Alright, let's switch over to rockets. These rockets on these planes. They look like bombers. Those are big, whatever they are. Let's see, right here? Maybe? That looks pretty good. Oh yeah, we got a bunch of them. Oh yeah, they are. The JU-88 Junkers. Junkers bombers. Jeez. That was kind of spooky. Oh no! We're gonna overheat. We took some bad damage. We're going in. So many good passes without getting shot in the face, and I just got too close for those rockets. Paid the price. But we took out some of those junkers. Oh, look at all those. There's a bunch of Funkerwoods. Are those BF-109s or are those Funkerwoods? I can't tell from here. Oh, good, we're back. Focke-Wulf 190, Doras. That was a lot of Doras. Be happy they're not taking off. Now those rockets are so hard to predict. Those ones look like they came off the rail and like went down 30 degrees immediately. I wonder if they're just extremely unpredictable, if I just screwed up bad that time. Alright, let's see if we can get some rockets into those lines of Doras everywhere. Uh-oh. At least it's white. How hot are we? We're okay for a little bit longer. It's not black smoke. We're doing okay. Nope, now we're getting hot. Oh, we're gonna seize up. We're gonna seize up, so last pass. Uh-oh. Mistakes were made. Nope, never mind. I meant I'm good. Hey, that cooled us off. Killing the throttle and diving in like that. But we're gonna start heating up right away real quick though. That's a very small band-aid on a gigantic problem we now have. And I can't jettison. Oh, I haven't flown over the port here. There should be a bunch of Nazi stuff in the port. I forgot I put a bunch of this stuff in there. Switch to bombs. There we go. Who's shooting at us? Is that a boat? Those are boats. Oh boy, those are big bullets. There's a bunch of smaller boats down there shooting at us. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. Submarines? Oh, damn. I did hit a boat though, I think. Oh, I did. Look at that. Boom. Hit one of the subs. But I am so toast. Oh, there it went. She seized. Oh, good. There's no... I thought it was going to go farther. I thought it was getting ready to go into those buildings over there, but no. Oh, look how uneven the ground is here. You really can't tell when you're up in the air because it all just looks flat as shit out here, but man, it's not at all. What time is it? Midnight? I've got to get some food ready. Well, that was some good practice with the old-timey bombers, at least. I'll have to do some more work on that map later. Alright, it was like a 3-hour stream. That's good enough. I think I'm going to take it easy. I gotta eat some food, get some medicine in me, and just chillax for a bit. So if there's anyone still here, thanks for hanging out. I know it's kind of a smaller stream. It's only 3 hours, but sometimes old disabled pilots gotta chill. But I'll be back tomorrow night as normal. And let's put a song up. There we go.